for someone with a decent amount of experience, say 3 to 5 years, who is who may or may not be a qualified accountant, but with CISA certification, they have a good opportunity or good chance to move out of India, especially in Europe or Middle East, because the visa, speaking practically, the visa restrictions are quite less, and the demand, there is a quite a good demand for IT auditors in general, because from what I have seen personally, that someone who has worked in internal audit for a considerable amount of time, they have switched from finance internal audit to IT internal audit, and this is purely interaction with folks in the US. So I would say that in Europe and Middle East, it is a good opportunity. So I'll answer this as a fresher. So I was never into uh, inclined towards IT audit or IT side of things. So my background, initially I did bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and then I realized that there is not much growth in India in the area of mechanical engineering, because there are so many mechanical engineers, honestly. So that's when I was looking to do a master's in information systems. So I came across this course, management information systems and managerial accounting. So wherein I started from the basic, doing the major in IT and accounting. So that's when I got this opportunity to work in a US based MNC. So I started from scratch, basically into this area, I would say, audit. And and then I realized that this is something that I had studied, and I was applying my knowledge. So and I was always interested to play with numbers. So I did get to work on data analytics projects, and I started working on the finance audit side, and then I eventually moved on the IT audit side. So I could see, like as a fresher, the learnings when I was working. So if someone is straight out of college, for them to start into this, if you think to those candidates, aspiring candidates, if they think that they can clear the exam by going through it, so I would recommend them to get started with the exam. But if
Hello everyone, welcome to CISA-This-Much. This is Aditya, and today we have with us Shriday, who has recently qualified CISA. Shriday, first of all, heartiest congratulations for qualifying CISA. Before I ask you any question, how does it feel qualifying this exam? One of the gold standard certification for IS audit.
First of all, thank you, Aditya, and hello everyone. This clearing the exam is an amazing feeling, I must say, and honestly, it has been a journey, and looking forward to it.
Sure, thank you. And before we ask you anything else, can you please introduce yourself, your background, and what made you choose this certification, CISA?
Oh, sure. My name is Shriday Gupta. I've been living in Ireland for 4 years now. I did my master's in MIS and management accounting, and I work with an MNC in their finance team. So I've been working in internal controls for over 3 years now, and that's how I was inclined more on the IT side of audit, I must say, because I knew that the finance side is quite monotonous or saturated, but on the IT side, it is always evolving and quite dynamic. So that is how I was inclined, and have been working on the IT audit, multiple projects.
All right. So I see that you already have experience in this field, right? IT audit since a few
Yes.
years. Yeah. My question to you is like, do you advise people to first do this exam and then think of entering in this field? Like in your case, you already had experience before giving this exam. So do you advise people, okay, you please work in this field and then you think of like if this field give you the interest, then only you think of pursuing this certification, or is it like people, because nowadays there are a lot of fresh graduates, there are a lot of people who have just done their post graduation, who are either CA qualified, or from even from IT background as well. They ask us this question that like, since I have been studying since and my graduation or post graduation just got over, can I finish this exam, because this exam will not take much of my time, and if I clear this exam, will it add any value for the job search and getting more opportunities? Because people are also scared of one thing, that once they start working, they will not be getting much time for the studying.
Um, sure. So I think I'll answer this question in parts. So first of all, taking the exam is quite subjective to an exam, like to a candidate. So it depends where the candidate stands. So if it is for someone who is a fresher, so I would advise that person to at least have 2 years of experience in audit or IT audit, because if it is a complete fresher, that person might have difficulties in grasping knowledge, and uh, the journey would be quite difficult, honestly, because I have been studying for over a year, I would say, with work. So along managing studies along with work is itself challenging. But for someone who is completely fresh, um, the understanding would be quite incomplete.
Got it. Yeah. My question to you is like, do you recommend doing this certification to the fresher graduates who are freshly graduated in IT, or maybe in commerce field? Because see, nowadays there are a lot of people out there who are not aware about these GRC and audit roles, and many people wants a career which is basically which will give them a good ROI, return on investment, because doing any certification requires hard work, efforts, your time, money, everything, and people wants return out of it. There are a lot of IT professionals out there who do not understand IT beyond the traditional IT roles. There are a lot of traditional IT roles, because I remember that whenever even now also it's the same in India, that whenever I say IT, even if I say IT audit, they don't understand audit, they just understand IT, and then they say IT means, do I need to know C++, Java, all those programming languages? Because that's the mindset which has become in a lot of these people, because people are not aware about the current industry and the current opportunities. My question to you is, do you advise people doing this certification maybe prior to joining IT audit, or do you advise these certifications like CISA more to the experienced people who are in the mid of their careers, maybe like 3 to 5 years of experience, who are already working in IT audits? Because you have the experience, and you already have, like, if I'm not wrong, almost like 5 years of experience here, and then you thought of, okay, now let me go for CISA, and then you qualified CISA. So will you advise people to first start working and then think of doing this certification, or maybe if someone is having interest, they can plan of doing these certifications in advance, and then more and more opportunities will get open for these people? So what do you advise?
Oh, certainly. So, Aditya, that's a very nice question, and I'll answer this in parts. So, first of all, my background. I'll answer this as a fresher. So, I was never into, like, uh, inclined towards IT audit or IT side of things. So, my background initially, I did bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and then uh, I realized that there is not much growth in India in the area of mechanical engineering, because there are so many mechanical engineers, honestly. So that's when I was looking to do a master's in information systems. So I came across this course, management information systems and managerial accounting. So wherein I started from the basic, uh, doing the major in IT and accounting. So that's when I got this opportunity to work in a US based MNC. So I started from scratch, basically into this area, I would say, audit. And and then I realized that this is something that I I had studied and I was applying my knowledge. So and I was always interested to play with numbers. So I did get to work on data analytics projects, and I started working on the finance audit side, and then I eventually moved on the IT audit side. So I could see, like as a fresher, the learnings when I was working. So if someone is straight out of college, for them to start into this, if you think to those candidates, aspiring candidates, if they think that they can clear the exam by going through it, so I would recommend them to get started with the exam. But eventually they will need 3 years, minimum 3 of experience to get their qualification. So regardless if they pass the exam, but they will still need experience. So I think the ideal would be to have minimum 2 years of work experience in the relevant field. If not IT audit, then audit for sure, so that you know how audit works and you can relate uh, the parts of the part concepts that you work in while preparing for the exam. So I think this would be ideal uh, preparation timeline, because honestly, clearing CISA is uh, uh, is like a milestone in your career itself, because it's a managerial level certification. So even if you clear it beforehand, you will still need 3 years of experience. And honestly, like for someone to excel in career at managerial level, 5 years of experience is obviously needed. So having CISA exam cleared would fetch you, or it might open doors for entry level positions only, unless and until there is enough experience uh, there to justify. So, with experience and certification, preference is given to a CISA candidate, but only experience, no certification, or only certification, no experience, you are still more or less on the same level. So, yeah.
Um, and I just want to add one thing here. Like you are an inspiration for a lot of people out there, because making a successful IT audit career, uh, based off the your background being mechanical engineering, that really takes a lot of guts, and and going out of India and making a whatever life you're living, this is a dream for a lot of people. I know, once upon a time even I had this dream, like I'll be living in US, or in UK. I'll be going there and working in those countries. That requires lot of risk taking ability, your guts, your of course your hard work, your efforts, and now you are already a successful IT auditor, so that's really hats off to your dedication and your entire journey.
Thank you so much, Aditya.
Yeah.
And as I always say, like Sarji, so you have obviously played a very important role in getting me through the CISA exam. So yeah, credits to you too. But honestly, like the journey, I would say, in India is not easy. Outside India, it's not easy. It's just that the struggles are different. But yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
So let's say, I am a
Oh,
freshly qualified. Maybe I just finished my graduation or whatever. Like I did my post graduation in IT, and let's say if I have plans to move abroad, because there are a lot of Indians, they have this in mind that they want to work abroad. Uh, like you are working in Ireland, okay, so let's say people have a dream of working in UK. So do you feel that this doing this certification will add value in their job hunt, or getting more opportunities, if someone is looking to switch their place of working from India to abroad, if not like UK, maybe like other countries. I mean, since you are based out in Ireland, so from that perspective, like what do you think?
I think definitely for someone with a decent amount of experience, say 3 to 5 years, who is who may or may not be a qualified accountant, but with CISA certification, they have a good opportunity or good chance to move out of India, especially in Europe or Middle East, because the visa speaking practically, the visa restrictions are quite less, and the demand, there is a quite a good demand for IT auditors in general, because from what I have seen personally, that someone who has worked in internal audit for a considerable amount of time, they have switched from finance internal audit to IT internal audit, and this is purely interaction with folks in the US. So I would say that in Europe and Middle East, it is a good opportunity.
Thank you. So, I mean, why I'm asking is because I mean, I'm trying to keep some new question, here in this interview, because I see that a lot of people see in the end, when anyone like uh, do any certification, or they are putting their time, they are putting their efforts, they are putting their money. So everyone has this one thought that like, before I invest any of my time or money or efforts, what will be the ROI. So people nowadays, they have these kind of thoughts, before thinking or before making that decision, okay, let me go for this exam. And I have seen a lot of people have given us positive feedback, about the opportunities, especially in UK, Ireland, the Great Britain, basically. uh, my next question to you is, I want to understand about your journey, your challenges, okay. So let's start with this question, that okay, uh, since you have given the exam in the new syllabus, right? Of course, the new syllabus got in impact from the last year August, right? And many people registered with us, like towards the end of the last year, and many people are giving the exam. Like they have given, lot of people have given the exam in the month of April. People are giving the exam, have given the exam in the month of May as well, and people do have plans to give the exam now. uh, Amendments, when it came, it was a kind of a burden for a lot of people because there were huge amendment, especially in domains like domain number 5. So I just want to understand, how was your journey with regards to uh, coping up with the huge syllabus. What was your main challenge here, and also your any strategy which you have followed, in your case, personal case, which you would like to share with the future CISA aspirants, which will help them in their preparation journey.
Certainly. So my preparation first started with the old syllabus, and as you know, like the old syllabus itself, like if anyone is starting with CRM, it's going to be quite challenging. The CRM is dry. So somehow I managed to finish studying old CRM, but I wasn't still confident enough. So that's when I thought that I need additional uh, support. So I reached out to your team, and before I would enroll, I was like, I just need to speak to Aditya once. Like it was more of a mentorship that I was looking for than the actually the this thing studying part, because I think even after studying all five domains once, I couldn't have the ISACA mindset, honestly. What is the essence of this exam to have the ISACA mindset? So I think once I was enrolled with your course, I think I made sure that every domain I finished, like first of all, before even starting with the domain, I discussed my background, everything with you. So based on that, my strengths basically audit domains. So you advise me how to approach the IT security domains, and what sort of questions are expected from the first three domains that are basically more of a IT audit, or in general IT dominated. So yeah, that was my approach in preparation. And as I mentioned, like I was looking more of the mentorship side of things, because I know like in professional life, maintaining work and then studying is quite challenging. So for me, it was more of taking baby steps, uh, watching lectures, every few lectures every day, like staying consistent is quite a bit challenge. Honestly, like I had many on and off preparations as well in between, but it all comes down to how much an individual wants um, to put in efforts, and how dedicatedly they are doing their preparations. Because like I've heard previous interview takers say that like taking preparing for CISA is a journey, and without enjoying the journey, you really can't uh, clear the exam. So obviously there are exceptions, like people who are good with clearing exams. That is a different thing. But honestly, if you're someone who is working like a full-time job with added responsibilities, so you're already drained, no matter like where you are. Honestly, like although I work outside India, I think there is a good bit of a work pressure. So yeah.
Agreed. Agreed. In fact, the thing which you mentioned, that we need to enjoy this journey. This is very good line which you have mentioned, and I completely agree. A lot of people, there are people who can clear this exam in a span of 1 month. Also, I don't know how. I mean, if I'm in their place, I cannot clear in 1 month. To be very honest, because see, I mean, when I do something, and this is the same advice I give it to everyone, that whenever you are doing something, it makes sense that if you enjoy the journey, if you really get the value out of it, then only it will really add value in the long term, because your goal or your intention is not just passing this exam. Okay, and which I have advised, almost everyone, even people who enroll with us, people who do not enroll with us. I tell the same thing, that more than just passing the exam, think of getting some value out of it. Because if your aim is to get value out of any certification, learning will happen, for sure. I mean, you will clear the exam for sure. That will be like a byproduct. Like your focus will be more on learning, your focus will be more on getting value, and in the meantime, of course, you will be clearing the exam. But then when you clear, through this path, your long term value, or your long term benefit, or your long term ROI, whatever you call it, from this certification, that increases, in a I mean, you can get, sky is the limit. I always say, like, I mean, if someone wants to get the full value out of this, I know, I mean, just something I'm saying, out of context. I know in my company, my CISO, he's having CISA, so he's just having CISA, and he is our current CISO. So it doesn't matter how many certifications you have. What matters is that how much value you have gained, from that particular exam. So this is what I feel. uh, And my next question to you is that, what was your revision strategy? Because I understand the syllabus was huge, since you also mentioned, coping your studies with your job. That's a very difficult task. And in that difficult balancing your work and balancing your studies, like, what was your revision strategy? Do you used to make down your own personal notes, uh, like or did you use our notes for the revision, or did you just focused on the Q&A towards the end, like I mean, what was basically your last final 1 month? So because that's the question again, it becomes important, because I'm sure that whoever is watching this session, one thing will be sure in their mind, that most of the people would have already started studying, and they are kind of looking for some motivation, they are kind of looking for some additional guidance, especially in the last 1 month. So, and because this last 1 month will be a game changer, right? So because last 1 month your efforts will make you clear the exam or make you not clear this exam. So the efforts lies in that last 1 month. So what I want to understand your journey in the last 1 month and your revision strategy.
Right. And Aditya, just to add a bit of context about my preparation, so I had gone through the old CRM in bits and pieces, I would say. And when I joined your course, I went through all the video lectures at least once, video lectures. It is, as you know, it is quite lengthy, but I made sure that I saw all the videos. I made notes while seeing the videos. So definitely, like, it took me a good bit of time. I would say about 3 months. I would say, because video lectures duration is approximately 80 to 90 hours, and obviously to make notes you need time, because that's what works for me. Like, it's more like, for some people it might work that they just see the video and they are fine with the concept, but for me, I see the video and I make notes. So that's like a multi-factor sort of a thing, two
That's the
factor this thing.
uh, sorry to interrupt. So that's the reason it took only, I mean, for you just had to go through the video just once. Because see, either you make down the notes, write down the note, it will of course 3 hours lecture will take you 6 hours. It 80 hours of duration will take you 160 hours. But then your revision, number of times you need require revision, that reduces. So either it's like you will be watching the lectures 2 or 3 times, or you will be watching the lectures once and you are making down your notes, and you are doing active listening. So it's either way. Yeah, sorry, please
Right,
continue.
right.
Yeah.
So once I was done with the lectures, I started with mini pocket test, and eventually I would take one mock a week. And after I was done with the mocks, I would focus on incorrect and correct both questions. But since I was short on time, so I think after first four mocks, so you have 10 mocks now. So after first four mocks, I think I just had six 2 weeks remaining for six mocks. So in the last 2 weeks, I was just focusing more on the questions that I have answered incorrectly, rather on the correct questions as well. So I would say that uh, someone who is short of time should focus more on the incorrect questions, because the right question, there is a high probability that the high even if you don't see the high right questions again, uh, you won't like mark the question incorrectly. But the advice that you gave me for revision, that each incorrect questions should be at least revised 2 times, one on the day of the mock taken and one on the next day, so that your brain has a better retention over the concept. So I think that is a really helpful one that I certainly did for last few mocks, because I had taken annual leave for last week or so, about 8 days. So I was purely focusing on the taking all the questions, going through all the questions from mini pocket test, and mock test as well, and practicing. So I think my revision like I would only revise specific concepts where the even after looking at the explanation. And one thing more, like what I would do is to uh, what I would do is to see the explanation or understand why the question is incorrect. I would use a ChatGPT and Gemini. So because it is not possible, or it is not efficient, rather possible, it is not efficient for me to ask or reach out to you for every question that I don't understand. So it's more like putting more efforts on your end to understand why the question is right, and why like why the answer actual answer option is correct, and why the answer that I ticked is not correct. So yeah, because sometimes how AI works. So I had to give a specific prompts why this option is correct, why this option is not correct, how this option can be correct. So I think that is something most of the exam candidates should leverage for their understanding, even after using ChatGPT or any other AI. If it's not clear, I think then they could discuss that with you. And I think uh, your explanation is much more clear than AI for sure, I would say, because you explain, you like clearly in your explanation uh, highlight the ISACA mindset. So yeah.
Yeah, agreed. Completely agreed. And a lot of times, what happens is that the AI, they may not understand that this question is with regards to what exam, because same question for CISA will be might have different answer. Same question for CISM might have different answer, because the altogether the mindset changes, right? So if you're giving CISA exam, your mindset is from the audit angle. There are times I know that I have also tried this. So sometimes what happens is that, like, the advantage, if you have the foundations right. Like, for example, I just remember, I think last week one student asked me this question. I think, if I'm not wrong, the question was, in the company there were numerous examples. There were numerous cases of the company using unauthorized software. What should the IS auditor recommend? Okay, and that student, so that student used ChatGPT. He got some answer. He told me, like, this is the answer ChatGPT is giving, and this is the answer is there in the official QA. So what's the right answer? So I told him that, you again ask ChatGPT that, can I use the words like numerous as a keyword here, because here it's not a single case. Here it's not a one-time activity. It's not a one-time event. The auditor has identified several cases. So the keyword is numerous. So I just told him that I could just ask him, just try to put that prompt, and then he added that, and then ChatGPT was like, yeah, you're absolutely correct. This is a very important word, because this is not just a one-time activity, one-time event. It's a serious offense, you can say, because this is kind of multiple cases. So yeah, so in that case, this should be the answer. Yeah. So what happens is that, if your foundation is right, you can play with ChatGPT, you can play with Gemini, because then you can say, no, but I'm giving an audit exam. What I know is that I need to report this. What I know is that I need to gather more evidence for this one. So don't you think so? This can be the answer, and then the AI will also think, yeah, now you're making sense, because I completely missed that you are asking from the audit angle. So this has happened multiple. So the thing is that if you know, the ISACA mindset, if you know the foundation, you can actually play with AI, and that will, make your preparation at the next level. Because let's say if I
Right.
don't know these reading, keywords, then in that case, whatever ChatGPT will tell me, I'll completely agree to it. I cannot question it back. But if I know the foundation, I can literally play with it. So that's the
Right.
difference.
And I think that just to add here one point, I think the reason we have conflicting thoughts is because what we do in real world is sometimes conflict, or most of the times conflicting than the ISACA mindset. But honestly, the ISACA mindset really helps in the real world because like um, for example, like if there is an issue in some control, so due to several other factors, uh, not a theoretic in not in the factors that are not only based on the theoretical side but on practical implications as well, so exceptions are made. So this basically adds a value to the audit, I would say. So
Agreed.
yeah, like sometimes, like even I had dual thoughts whether what I'm working and what I'm studying will be how that will integrate. But recently I got to work on another audit, and I think I see things differently. Although and try to correlate. So yeah, that is this type of thinking, and all the prompts will only arise when you have had relevant work experience, and that's how you can correlate, and it could help you gain a better understanding.
Understood. Understood. All right. So thank you so much for answering all our questions. Any last piece of advice you would like to give to the future CISA aspirants? It could be anything from your end.
I think last piece of advice would be that if you are someone like me in a similar phase where you think even after going through everything you still don't feel confident, I would say that get associated with Aditya, because he is genuinely like passionate about teaching from what I know, because he has so much patience in his videos that I have seen that through even if you see any domain 2 videos, you go to the core of explaining a basic concept. I think that what makes a difference. And I would say that I followed all that you have mentioned to me. I think we didn't discuss this, like I didn't mention this, but I was not sure of taking the exam on the test center. But after you somehow convinced me that why to even keep a 1% chance of error, because taking exam remote has more cons, I would say. Obviously it gives you comfort zone and several other reasons, but if someone is taking the exam in the exam center, there is no possibility, I would say there is very less possibility as compared to taking the exam remotely, of having error or things go against you. So I think that was something that I followed, Aditya, like as in your advice, like from going through videos, doing revision, mock test, everything. And also one thing that during my exam, so most of the questions, I would say around 50% was honestly like around 40 questions were quite difficult. So could difficult as in they were from amended uh, topics, and some were quite out of what I could imagine. But yeah, all in all, I would say that uh, like your guidance, like your mentorship, really helped me to clear the exam and have the ISACA mindset.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much once again. And we wish you all the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aditya.